Thanks for joining the podcast. I am your intuitive life coach, head and soul spa specialist, Reiki master, inner light practitioner, whatever you want to call me. I'm here to support an energetic self-care and an intuitive self-awareness within your life. Just a couple of things that I want you to be aware of. As we move through this podcast, your free will is your biggest superpower. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Adjust it to what works for you. Know that you get to choose what resonates and where you choose to move forward. Nobody gets to tell that to you or for you. If we are doing any meditation techniques, please do so safely. Do not listen to them while you are driving. We have enough distracted drivers. We don't need you falling asleep because of a meditation you're listening to in the car. Maybe turn on some calming music, not necessarily meditation. Also, know that I am not a mental health professional, so if you have any physical or mental health concerns, please seek a physical or mental health professional outside of this podcast. Thank you very much, and continue to explore the episode. Hello, all my uniquely beautiful peeps. Welcome back to the podcast. I know it's been a while since we've done anything on the podcast. So I don't know exactly how the rhythm's going to be with podcasts moving forward. I'm thinking every other week feels like a good rhythm, so we're going to shoot for that. And I appreciate your flexibility while I've taken a bit of a break from the podcast. I found it didn't feel authentic and it didn't feel supportive of life at that time. So now it feels like a good creative flow outlet. So here we are. I figured we would step into the podcast a little bit easily today. Nothing too grand, nothing too deep. A bit of a meditative technique, nothing too extensive. And then maybe we'll draw some cards. So let's see what we want to draw. What decks we want to draw from. I have currently the Changing Life Situations, Clarifying Life Situations deck. And I also have the Field Tarot deck. And I'm not sure which one of these we're going to draw from, but we will see. Okay. So let's start off with just a little bit of an energy, just a little bit of a meditation technique to help to settle us in. And hopefully this can be a tool that you can take with you as you move through life as we transition from February into March over the next couple of weeks. One of the things that I'm drawn to often lately is simple intentions. I've found this happening in my energy sessions with clients. I found this happening within my own life. The notion of embracing simple intentions, not bringing on a lot of complicated intentions and a lot of complicated work. The idea that these simple intentions and simple practices get to show up for us in a more profound way over time than one big complicated practice that's hard to fit in and repeat within life. Now, this doesn't resonate with everybody. Some people really enjoy a profound, deep experience that's separate from life that they can show up to. But I found for myself and for my clients, when we are looking at everyday energetic self-care, that simple intentions and simple practices are the best way to incorporate that in our life on a regular basis. So let's start off with a simple breath technique. This is something that I have done in the past with myself and with my daughter, and I feel it's a great technique to incorporate some acknowledgement and release of that energy, that tense energy we're hanging on to. And I reference it as the mountaintop breathing. And what we do with this technique is as we inhale, we count from 1 up until 3, 4, maybe 5 if you're able to take a little bit of a deeper breath. Then we hold it for 2 counts. So say we count up to 4 as we inhale. We hold it for 2 counts, 5 and 6. And then we exhale from 6 down through 0. So the exhale is longer than the inhale, and we have a pause in between. And for me, counting with the numbers feels like we're drawing the image of a mountaintop. And when I visualize drawing that mountaintop in my mind as I inhale and exhale, it gives me a visual to pair with the numbers that I'm counting with. So that's what we're going to practice a little bit today. Now, explore it. Allow the numbers to be what works best with your breath. Don't hold your breath too long if it feels uncomfortable. If counting to 2 on the inhale feels right for you, or counting to 4 on the inhale feels right for you, or counting to 5 on the inhale feels right to you, or 6, whatever. Do what feels comfortable for you. I'm going to offer the rhythm of counting to 4, holding it for 5 and 6, and then counting from 6 down through 0. Allow yourself to hear me talk about this breath, but don't feel like you have to be in line with what I'm doing at that moment. This is just a technique for us to embrace, to pause in our life, to focus on our breath, and to give ourselves permission to release a lot of that excess that we don't even realize we're carrying. So as we get started, we're just going to settle in. We're just going to take a moment to breathe comfortably, not even change our breath, just to be aware of our breath. We're going to let our body settle in, become aware of this moment and this space, and witness our inhale and exhale. Witnessing how easy it is to inhale and exhale, or how difficult it is. Do you inhale and exhale through your nose, or through your mouth, or one then the other? For this simple activity, we're not going to require the inhale and exhale to happen specifically from the nose or the mouth. Just witnessing what feels comfortable to you today. Does your nose whistle a little bit like mine does when you inhale? Okay, so on the next inhale, you're going to count from 1 up until 4 or 5 or less if you want. Hold it for the count of 2. So we'll count up to 4, hold it for 5 and 6, and then count from 6 down through 0. So it may sound something in your mind like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 5, 6. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's practice that notion of that rhythm again. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 5 and 6. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now just practice that for a moment or two. Find the rhythm of numbers that feels right to you today. Now maybe you found that the way I was counting didn't align with the way the numbers flowed in your mind. So maybe you need to slow them down, or maybe you want to speed them up. Maybe when you first start out, they speed up and are faster. But the more you do it, the more they stretch out and lengthen. Now, after a while, you can let your breath settle into a nice, natural, and comfortable rhythm. Letting go of the holding of the inhale if you need to, and letting the numbers fall away. If you feel you can sit with the rhythm of the mountaintop breath, sit with it for a little bit. Let that pause be a collection of the stress and tension that you're holding. And then that release and long exhale gets to be the spot that gives you permission to let go of this tension and stress. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause for 5, 6. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now I'm going to invite you to let that number and let that controlled breath fall away. Inviting your breath to just settle into a natural, comfortable rhythm. And just taking a moment to sit with this more calm energy that you have cultivated within your body and within your mind. Acknowledging these couple of moments that you have taken to support your energy. Congratulating yourself on your efforts. Alrighty. Thank you for taking a moment to pause and breathe with me. It's techniques like that, when we learn them and practice them over time, it builds tools in our energetic toolbox to care for ourselves along the way. Now, these tools are not a one and done scenario. It is not a pill or a quick fix. It is a practice. It is something that we devote a little bit of time to on a regular basis so that when we need them, we can pull them out. When we need them is not the time to start learning them. When we need these tools is the time that we pull out the familiar experiences. So if your familiar energetic regulation balancing practice is to open your phone and doom scroll when you're stressed and stressed and holding a lot of tension, you're going to open your phone and doom scroll. When you're anxious, if your go-to is to grab caffeine or grab a drink or open your phone and doom scroll, When you continue to be anxious, you're going to do that. However, if you can take 15 minutes out of your day and start practicing some techniques like this, your body learns, your energy learns that it gets to be settled and it gets to soften. So that later, when you're in you're in that tense energy, you're in that anxious energy, you then can call on those tools that you practiced in a calmer state because they feel familiar. So if you just start these when you're in the anxious moments, they're not going to work for you. Practice them. Devote a little time to yourself. Devote a little time to your energetic self-care, and welcome a little balance into your life for 2026. So as I'm shuffling this Clarifying Life Situations deck, I want to invite you to reach out to me and to let me know how this breathing technique worked for you today. Did you find it easy? Did you find it difficult? Did you count up to 4 with me, or did you count to 3? Or did you go further and count to 5? Excuse me. Also, I would love some honest feedback about how the guidance felt. Did you feel like the guidance was easy to move through with the breathing technique? Because sometimes I find I don't count and breathe the way somebody else does when they're guiding me in a technique like that. So I want the free space to explore it on my own, but I need to understand what that structure looks like. So that's what I'm trying to help you with. But if it doesn't work, I'm open to the feedback so that we can shift that. Okay, now let's pull a card from the Clarifying Life Situations deck and see what comes up for us. What do we need to know as we move from February into March? Oh my gosh, I think there's some sunlight outside. Shh, don't say anything, we're going to scare it away. Okay, so we're going to hold the deck for a minute. Connect with it. Oh, this one feels like it's at the top of the deck. Fulfill promise. Stay committed to your path, for each step forward brings you closer to your destined fulfillment. So this one is reminding us to keep those promises that we have offered ourselves, to stay the course, stay on the path, build those practices that honor where you're drawn to go. And it feels like it's one step and then the other and then the other. It's not a giant leap. Again, with those simple intentions, simple steps pull us forward in a profound way. And when we look at this card, this message sits in the lightest part of the card. And it feels like when you look at the general color of this card, it's darker on one side and then moves to some lighter on the end. And the message that we are reading in this card is on the lighter side. So to me, it feels like it is calling us forward into the more lighter side of our life. It's calling us to move down that path to embrace more lightness and brightness in life and to stay on that path. Yes, there will be things that get in our way. Yes, there will be some shadowy experiences that bubble up. However, if we continue to cultivate purposeful steps and purposeful intentions, as small as they are, that will continue to pull us forward, and we will continue to find that fulfilling energy that maybe we've been lacking. Things get to be lighter, things get to be more open, things get to feel fresher. Continue to advocate for that and choose the steps that help you move in that direction. I love this. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you celebrating your energetically unique self with me, for pausing with me for a breath and for a card. And hopefully we will connect again in a couple weeks for another episode. If there is anything in particular that you want addressed on the podcast, or you want to talk about, or that you want to share with somebody, feel free to reach out and let me know. We're a community and we get to celebrate our uniquely beautiful selves together. Do not forget to continue to celebrate your uniquely beautiful self.